Hello everyone, my name is Erica and I will be giving my presentation on interpersonal communication with the family. Did you know that the way we communicate with our families growing up is actually how we communicate today? Let me start by asking a few questions. When you got home from work today, or home in general, did you stop and talk about your day, or did you go and put your stuff straight away? Maybe you were greeted, maybe you were kissed hello from a partner and welcomed. Maybe you picked up your kids from school and asked them about their day, or simply asked to go put your stuff away. Maybe you talked about your day with your parents, your siblings, or maybe you went straight upstairs. Maybe you were even directed to come sit down and do as you're told. All these simple interactions are examples of interpersonal communication within the family. So what is interpersonal communication within the family? Interpersonal communication within the family is learned. It is the shared conversations and interactions that take place between family members, building our understanding for how we communicate. It helps to maintain our role and relationship with one another. Through the use of interpersonal communication within the family, we learn to express our needs, our wants, and our concerns. Our early interactions set the stage for how we understand, interact, and navigate as we continue through life. Communication starts with our family, and family is anyone who provides structure, function, and tasks in nurturing and socializing. There are lots of types of family: nuclear, single, extended, step family, etc. Basically, there's the family of origin, which is considered through bloodline or legality, or the family of orientation, which is between people who live together and act exactly as such. No matter the family type, communication is learned and starts here. The goals of interpersonal communication within family are to strengthen interactions, conversations, and meetings with one another, function to meet physical needs and psychological needs, help to develop, create, and maintain our identity, provide emotional, relational, and instrumental needs, and teach us the ability to have healthy interpersonal relationships with others. A simple quote I'd like to share is from Michael J. Fox. Family is not an important thing, it is everything. Without our foundation of family, our identity doesn't exist, and simple interactions shape us. So what would we be like without them? I think he's right. Family is everything. With our family, interactions are experiences shared together. They can be patterned, which are family interactions such as mealtime, bedtime, playtime. They can be traditions such as birthdays, reunions, and vacations, or they can be celebrations, rites of passages, milestones, graduation, religious events, and even holidays. Through these interactions, we share communication. Through these interactions, we learn to understand one another. We communicate verbally and non-verbally. There are two ways in which families communicate: through conversation or conversing, and or conformity. Conversing with the family is the shared exchange of communication with the family. Messages are sent and received through open interactions. There is high importance spent on the time spent together and interacting. Samick and Rudder from the Journal of Marriage and Family describe conversations as the shared thoughts, feelings, and opinions exchanged in an attempt to understand one another's views, where Corner and Fitzpatrick, founders of communication theory, and the family reflect the goal achieved through conversing as communication behaviors discussed amongst the family. Conformity, on the other hand, is the opposite end of conversing. It is the understood messages enforced within the family. Compliance and expectations are key to this type of communication. Samick and Rudder describe conformity as understood conversation through the influence of authority figures. Topics are understood in the same way as expected, where Corner and Fitzpatrick reflect conformity and communication behaviors based on the social emphasis of parental structure. Let's reflect back to when we first came home today. Were you greeted with conversations, interactions, and interest? This is an example of open shared communication, exchange, and conversing. While if you were greeted with direction and expectation, you were likely part of a conformant and compliant family. Corner and Fitzpatrick are the founders of family communications pattern theory, which is a study of how shared social realities lead to better understanding and functioning. Interpersonal communication within the family is through those shared conversations. Corner and Fitzpatrick say that communication patterns are both intrapersonal, pertaining to the self, and interpersonal, pertaining to the family, while Samick and Rudder say that communication is optimally achieved through intersubjectivity, which is congruence and agreements in thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and interactivity, which is relationships to one another. Both conversing and conformity have orientation ranges or degrees of interactions and exchanges that are part conversation and part conformity. This chart is a visual representation of the degree of conversing and conforming within the 4 types of interpersonal communication within family, including consensual, pluralistic, protective, and laissez-faire. I'll go into those more in detail in just a moment. Communication in the real world reflects that conversion orientation is the degree of which family members interact to communicate, while conformity orientation is the degree of which the family have similar beliefs, values, and behaviors. The consensual family has high conversation and high conformist exchanges. Communication within the real world, our text discusses families in this group are encouraged to openly and freely communicate without limitations. But there is also hierarchy. There is openness and control. Corner and Fitzpatrick say that this type of family believes communication is the means to educate and socialize, while Samick and Rudder refer to parents as authoritative but close, as well as emotionally and behaviorally able to work together. My example of the consensual family is The Incredibles, from none other than Disney, the perfect superhero family of 5. Parents are loving and supportive and have open communication, but have to go into hiding for a bit. When Mr. Incredible gets himself in trouble, they work together to save the day. Every superhero has their own talents, and they work well together. This is my idea of a consensual family. The pluralistic family has high conversation and low conformity exchanges. Communication within the real world, our text discusses families are able to have open, unrestricted conversations and support to explore. This family type is considered more intergenerational and traditional. Communication and decisions affect both family and the individual. There is openness and without the need for control. Corner and Fitzpatrick talk about families as independent and autonomy, building their confidence, while Samick and Rudder are families that are also seen as permissive. They live in harmony, avoid conflict, and are independent. My example is from another Disney classic, Encanto, which is about a traditional family known as the Madrigals, who live in a charmed place called Encanto. Each family member has a unique gift, including Mirabelle. This film is a great reflection of interactions and relationships within the pluralistic family and each member's role alongside problem solving. The protective family has low conversation and high conformity exchanges. Communication within the real world, our text discusses obedience and control. The value is not on communication, rather understood values, beliefs, and norms that are similar. Corner and Fitzpatrick refer to decisions made by the authoritarian or head of the household parent. This type of family has little concern for conceptual matters, and parents don't need to explain themselves. Samwick and Rudder used the reference "because I said so" as a common phrase used with this communication style. The example I use is from another Disney classic, Nemo. While Nemo loses his family, making his dad Marlin super overprotective, Marlin feels that he must keep Nemo safe from the unpredictable risks of the ocean. Nemo learns the importance of family once he gets separated from Marlin, and Marlin never gives up on getting Nemo back and trying to keep him safe. The last family type is rare and known as laissez-faire family, which has low conversation and low conformity. Communication within the real world, our text discusses these families as having limited support and no interactions. Individuals are required to make their own decisions. Croner and Fitzpatrick say that communication is a result of emotionally divorced parents that foster indecision in individuals. Samwick and Rudder say this family type is rare and often a result of absence or neglect. The Disney movie I'm going to use is none other than Up, which is about a retired balloon salesman who sets off on a lifelong dream and uses his balloons to fly away on an adventure. He meets a boy named Russell who's trying to assist in earning badges for assisting the elderly. This approval he seeks is by earning a badge, he gains his father's approval. The two make great friends on this epic adventure, but the approval is never found. This is an example of a laissez-faire family. I leave you with a quote. Families are like branches on a tree. We grow in different directions, yet our roots remain in one. Our families, again, shape us through the use of interpersonal communication and these 4 family types, whether they're consensual families, pluralistic families, protective families, or laissez-faire families. Each communication style is unique and helps create identity. Our interpersonal communication within our family is so important in so many ways. It is how we learn to interact and better navigate our own life's experiences. It's built on our understanding and knowledge as either a consensual, pluralistic, protective, or laissez-faire family. By better understanding ourselves, we can better understand others and communicate more effectively. Thanks for watching.